I'm 5 Town Pawn ready to sell you. Let me see. Tommy sent me a little text messages. All right, here we go. He said, Tommy and I check in almost all the time just to keep up because he goes through. I love the way he does things. He'll go out and find an allotment of guns for their gun counter at Town Pawn, and then he'll just get them and put them on sale. When they hit the ground, he sends me a text. He puts a price on them. He ain't even got time to get him in his system. I put it on the radio. Y'all go clean them out, and then he orders some more. It just works. Um, I mean, it's as close to almost getting wholesale deals as I've ever seen. Now, any time you go in there, there are great values and all kinds of selection at Hugh Pawn on the tactical stuff, hunting stuff, personal carry, pre-owned stuff. It's a pretty complete store that way. But the thing that's been kind of the rage lately are these AR shotguns, these AR-12s. People call them. They're kind of AR style, but shotguns. And because I traveled, I missed out on the last two batches. But he's got he's got some of the new 12 gauge. It's a different version than the one we had last time. Those I think they were ATIs is what they were called. I could have that wrong. These are $299, and he says we are stacking them deep and selling them cheap. Okay, so we that's our slogan for the day. Here's the bottom line: if you want one of the remaining AR shotguns, they've got them on sale. Go check them out. Different color variations. The more popular, newer colors get sold out early, but it's any other time, it's worth the trip to go to get to know Tommy and those guys. It'll be like having a personal friend in that business that can track down what you need or keep you apprised too of the deals they have coming in the door. One of my favorites last year was he got some pre-owned law enforcement Glocks. These were Glock 22s. It's one of the ones I bought. I couldn't turn it down. It was the price was so good. This gun was brand new, but they couldn't sell them as new. They'd been issued to law enforcement, most of which carried around and never been used. And then they have to turn them in and get new allotments. And so, pretty smart stuff. Y'all go see them. Sound suppression, still got plenty of those from last year at Hueytown Pawn. And get what you need. Hueytown Pawn, Brook Lane Drive. Guess where? Anybody? Guess where? In Hueytown. Hueytown Pawn. All right. State of the Unions tonight. And I just saw this come across. Of course, I've still got to talk about some more about the hockey team. The Democrats cannot figure out how to deal with Trump at States of the Union. They had, what was it, last year, that old man Green got up with his cane and got thrown out. That was so stupid. Even the Democrats scolded him for that. I think he was censured for it. It wasn't a good look. Didn't help him in the elections. And then we turn around and we had Nancy Pelosi ripping up the speech in the first term, just made an ass out of herself. So they keep doing. They've booed. They've all tried to wear theme colors. So tonight it's partial boycott. Some of them aren't coming, but some are. And there's a word tonight from Homeland Security that they're trying. Some of them are trying to bring illegal aliens to the State of the Union. Do you think it'll be like a full-on MS-13 guy with tattoos on his face, like where they're like, he's not in a gang. He'll have MS-13 right across his forehead. Or will they bring like little Paco with his little donkey and his mama?
Yeah, abuela.
Yeah, with his abuela. And we know they're bringing, quote, Epstein victims. They're still peddling this fantasy that they have nothing to do with Epstein. Bill Clinton's somewhere going, hey, y'all knock that off, man. Damn. So apparently they're going to bring some of these Epstein women. Some of these women they're bringing were women that helped Epstein recruit other women. And I feel sorry for them. I think they were groomed as young victims and then became part of the organization. It's the way cults kind of work. And they were somewhat guilty themselves from the documents that were released. They're still coming to the chamber. So it's going to be a spectacle. The interesting thing was earlier today, Mike Johnson had a news conference, and he was talking about how Trump called him and said, hey, you got to make some room. He goes, how much room? Because it's tight. Y'all, the visitors gallery's small. And he goes, I'm inviting the whole hockey team, the whole U.S. gold medal winning hockey team. And that's got to be 40 people. I mean, you got the team, everybody associated with the team. I saw them all getting on the plane today, look like 30 or 40 people. And so they've landed. They've been at the White House today. What a whirlwind they've had since winning the medal. So my first thought, and I wasn't the only person to think this, when I saw Speaker Johnson was trying to figure out where to sit the hockey team because they got to bump somebody to get them in there. Everybody's got there's kind of a system. Congress people get some gallery passes that sort of rotate around between states of the union, and they can hand them out to their own staff or people from home or whoever they want. Their donors, their wives, lovers. I don't know what they do nowadays. They're weird. Their boyfriends, whatever. But so they all kind of get an allotment of these things and to cobble together seats because these are fixed theater style seats. If you've ever toured the Capitol and seen the chamber, it's a tight squeeze. So because remember, on the floor you got all the House and the Senate and the Supreme Court and all this, the cabinet. They're all packed down there on the floor, and so there's not much room. My first thought when I heard Johnson was trying to make room for him, I thought, let them sit in the Democrat seats. There's 50 of them that are there, but you can't. The way the House rules work, only the elected members can be on the floor. You can't just put guests on the floor. I know when they get sworn in, they'll bring their families down there. It depends on the occasion and the rules, and I guess Johnson and them could change that. But we don't know where the hockey team's going to be sitting today, but it's going to be raucous. I love the scene last night of them in the bar in Miami singing all the patriotic songs.
What they should do is like, and I know they don't have enough time to do this, but they could fly somebody in to do this. But they can just create a penalty box.
Boom. There you go. Keep going. I like where you're going. Keep going.
And put either you can put the Democrats in the penalty box and then move the hockey team where the Democrats are going to sit, or just put the hockey team in
put some glass around them.
Yeah.
And then, how about this? They get to dress in full hockey gear.
Mm-hmm.
And when one of the Democrats get unruly and start screaming and stuff, they come out of there and skate over there and whack them with a stick, knock their teeth out. Physics, bitch. Boom, just like that. I don't know. Maybe we're just fantasizing. Now I'm all hyped to watch it tonight. I didn't even sure if I was going to watch for a little while. Roger's on his cell phone. What's up, Roger?
Leland, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot, seeing a lot about Bitcoins and software. Trump had made a couple of statements, whether it was AI or whatever, but it had to do with the banks or losing out, and he's really going for the Bitcoins, which is a bunch of crap. But could you tell me what's going on there?
I really can't, based on the information you provided. I don't know that if there's any huge beef suddenly between banks and Bitcoin. None of the establishment financial institutions nor governments around the world have ever really been big on it. Bitcoin had to survive. Now it's run up to what? What was it? What is it lately? Like $180,000 a Bitcoin? I don't know where it is. Some of that does escape me of how all that functions. And I said in the early days of this, governments are always going to be fearful of something they can't control or tax. And so all that's getting worked out right now. But I don't know about whether the banking institutions, some are embracing it and using it around the world and allowing it. Some are not associating with it at all and pressuring government officials to stay away from it because they want to control these deposits.
Well, if he's got enough guts to change the monetary system, what happens to the bank and the small guy who's got a little bit of money in a bank?
Well, we don't want to run on the banks for people that are in a cash position at all. And I don't think Trump would obviously want to promote that. So, but let me do some study on it, Roger. Maybe I can come up with a way to help give you some more clarity on that. That's just
thank you,
when I don't know, I'll tell you nowadays. AJ, I used to just make stuff up because my thought was, hey, if you don't know, I can say what I want.
Right.
I'm just kidding. No,
as long as you make it sound good.
Yeah, you just got to sound like you know what you're talking about. Speaking of making stuff up and sounding like you know what you're talking about all the time, here's the poster child for that would be Kamala Harris. Am I wrong? Well, apparently she's running. And I think the timing of her announcement that she's thinking about getting in for real is pretty good with Gavin Newsom hitting a flat tire, particularly with the black community. This is a moment where she's going to be taken seriously this time and she's going to run for it, not just get handed it. Because she was. Look, despite what you think of the woman, even if you were a big fan of her, she was handed that nomination, and that was never going to fly. Even fellow Democrats didn't like. They should have had a real convention. They should have thrown Pawpaw out and had a convention. But the control freaks on their side don't want that. Hillary Clinton started this when Bernie Sanders. Let me take y'all back. Bernie Sanders had an uprising. You remember the Bernie Bros? He was a threat to Hillary. They changed their own nominating rules to make sure the beast stayed in. She was supposed to be the she stayed out of the way to let Barack Obama run, and so then it was her turn. She waited her turn, 8 long years. Obama kept her close so she wouldn't stab him in the back. He gave her a job. Now it's the beast's turn, and all hell went wrong because they changed their convention rules, and then they turned around and basically skipped the convention to pretend Joe Biden was not a Roomba walking into the walls. One of our callers used that the other day. Oh, side note. Have you seen this story about this guy that was trying to explore around on the Roomba, these little robot vacuumer software, and he managed to hack the software where he could control thousands of these all over the world? He got in and suddenly your Roomba wakes up and takes over your house. This guy was doing that on his own. Tell me we want AI cars all over the place. I'm sorry. Hackers. I don't trust it. Anyway, back to the story. So Kamala Harris said this today. We'll listen to it together for the first time. This just came across a little while ago. She's in.
Okay.
Will you run again?
I haven't decided.
You're still thinking about it.
I might.
hmm
Oh,
Yeah.
she's running.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I closed the book and I'm like, oh, she wants to. She's just thinking about it. If that was my impression. I don't know if that's what you intended, but that was my impression.
No, the book is about a specific period in time. There was no agenda beyond what we've discussed already, which is just sharing with people, the reality of the experience and hopefully allowing people to see something of themselves. Okay.
Well, I thought that was a little more definitive based on the way it was presented on the social medias.
She's running.
She's running.
She's
Yeah.
running. Look,
She got any choice but to
I
run.
mean, when you had that hype like you had during this past election, I can understand she got blown out, but there's still time for her. I know there was that run for her running for governor of California. I don't think she wants that. I really think she really wants to, how some people say, break that glass ceiling, and I think she's definitely going to run again. She's going to run again.
How do you think that's going to go with the Democrats? She's got to get through that gauntlet first if
Well,
they have a legit convention.
Well, I mean, right now it's still kind of early to really say right now because, that election is not until a couple more years from now. So slowly people are trying to get their name out. Gavin is doing the same thing because he's starting to transition out of the governorship of California and getting to this realm. That's why he started doing his podcast and, doing all these speaking engagements and, going after MAGA the way he's doing. I think right now it's all about trying to find a solidified movement for the Democrats because right now you have so many different moving pieces.
They ain't got a leader.
That's what I'm saying. You got so many different pieces that
no
are moving
leader.
moving in 5 different directions, and there's not a single unit voice that's really kind of bringing everybody together. Gavin's doing his thing. Kamala's doing her thing. And I don't even know who else is supposed to be in the running.
AOC,
Yeah.
Mayor Poot.
And Mayor Poot has been super quiet.
The governor of Maryland.
Yeah, Westmore.
Who's just pumping turds into the Potomac. Well, Democrats they have a whole different, I don't know what their standards are. There's a old saying in politics that Democrats fall in love and Republicans fall in line.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is Republicans just blindly accept the next one up. Democrats have to just be enamored with somebody. They have to be all hard eyes for whoever. And I don't know if they've gotten to their emotional center yet.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet. You can tell that they're still looking for that at this point in time.
Let me, if I could pause the show real quick, just a little side note and pray a little prayer. Y'all, some of you might want to pray with me. I feel like I'm on that Hallow app. Y'all seen those commercials? Anyway, stay prayed up. Please, sweet baby Jesus, let Kamala Harris get in this race. Thank you. It is content. It is nonstop content with this clown of a woman in this race. She is just a caricature of a human being. And for somebody in my business, Trump's the gift that keeps on giving too, man. This guy's got personality to spare and he does all these things that keep us edgy. But when you've got somebody that dysfunctional and she'll gum up any kind of streamlined back room, we're going to pick the nominee and shove them through the convention. If she gets in there, it gums all that up. Then I'm telling you, it's so wide up. My guess would be right now, there's 30 people on that debate stage. They're going to have the same problem the Republicans had before Trump took them all out. Remember when the Republicans had two different debates? They had like 15 people running in 2016. They had like the big kids table and the little kids table. And Trump had to go through he had to go through, let's take y'all way back. In 2016, he had to go through Jeb Bush, Rubio was on that stage. All the wannabes were on that stage, and Trump just slashed them all out and became the nominee, much to everybody's surprise. And so I believe Democrats going to be in that same position this time. The Republicans are a little bit different. Look at us talking about the presidential. I think it's clear. It's Rubio and Vance. Just what I don't know is who's going to lead the ticket. Either one of them would be acceptable, I believe, to the base right now. In either order, I would go Vance, Rubio, and Rubio Vance either way. They're young. They're going to be super experienced, unless one of them, blows it up and steps on a landmine, which is very possible in politics. They'll all let you down at some point. But anyway, yeah, go Kamala. I'm going to get me some Kamala PJs. I'd love to see her try to attempt to do it on her own, because the last time she got out of the race before they could vote because she was doing so poorly. All right, I see Steve and I see Will, and I want your phone calls too, 545-9950. Birmingham Broker bringing the show tonight, bhambroker.com, bhambroker.com. Y'all, get down there with your cars and let Craig and them sell them. This is a seller's market. The interest rates are tweaking down just ever so slowly. Over time, people just have a demand for vehicles. Your car wears out. You got to change what you're driving. Family grows, whatever. You need a new car. So the demand pressure can be there. Right now, they don't have enough cars. They need cars. They will sell your car for maximum value for you at Birmingham Broker. And you don't have to do anything. Take them to car, let them get it sold, get you a check. They'll explain all the details. Downtown Birmingham, 4th Avenue South, bhambroker.com. Blakely's Bouquets. You know, it's always a good time to give flowers. You got a boo thing in your life, or your mama, or somebody you love, give them flowers. Get surprise flowers are the best flowers. Now, when they're expecting them, you can't miss those either. You better send the flowers when it's a special occasion or an anniversary or birthday. But sometimes just to pick me up for somebody in your life that you just want to love on, or is just going through a hard time, it's very nice. Having a personal florist like Blakely's Bouquets makes it so much easier. These guys have the best website in the world. So easy to get on there and order very quickly. Their delivery system's impeccable. They send you a quick text to let you know it made it. That's one of my favorite things they do. So you can get excited that they've been received. So we're in a society nowadays where we want to be able to track things. They do that for you. And they're just lovely people. You'll get to know them if you want to go by their shop over in Edgewood and Homewood. Otherwise, just get online at Blake Lee's Bouquets, BLAKELEES, BlakeLee'sBouquets.com. Let's get Will in here real quick. What's up, Will?
Going on, Leland? How you doing today?
Hey, man.
Hey, I heard Roger's question, and my background is in financial technology and all that stuff, so I understand the whole crypto, stable coins, everything that's going on there, and hopefully can help answer Roger's question around what's going on with
You know what?
with
You're
Bitcoin.
a blessing to this radio show. Do you mind holding? Because I know it'll take you longer than 45 seconds. If you don't mind holding through the
Absolutely.
break, Will's going to help us all understand that. I was a little even confused as to some of what Roger was talking about. So I appreciate that. We got such smart people in the audience. And Steve, you hang on too. We'll get to your call. I just pushed everything too close to the bottom of the hour, and I want to be fair to folks. If you want to get into, we're a little loose today. It's not as heavy. I think we're always like this on a pre-State of the Union day. A lot of the news cycle is just hype over tonight's event. So get on in here, 545-9950. We don't bite. We'll take your call and put you on the radio, 545-9950. That's our number. Leland Live, Talk 99.5, back here in a minute. It's 4:35. Leland Love, Chuck 995 Work Trucks bringing you the show tonight. TRUX. They're downtown Birmingham. The place to go if you want to grow a business, start a business, anything you got to do with business, or maybe you just got a nonprofit or a need for a commercial based truck of any size, any shape. They've got them all kind of configurations on pickup trucks, flatbeds, trucks with cranes on them, box trucks, vans all over the place, cargo and passengers. So you got a church, got a whole bunch of people, got a nonprofit, you move people around with your business or with your agency or with your cause, go down to Work Trucks. These have been pre-owned, so they got low miles. You'll save money, but they've been vetted, so it's as close to buying like new as you can with financing, with extended warranties. It's everything you need. It's a turnkey place. Work Trucks, LLC.com. Work Trucks, LLC.com. Downtown Birmingham, close to our friends over at Iron City, right there on 3rd Avenue South. Go see them. Work Trucks. All right, Will was going to help us. He is in this business, and we had a question about Bitcoin and the financial institutions. Will, start us from the beginning and help us restate what Roger was asking as you saw it, and then explain.
Yeah, I'll do my best here. I mean, so there's a lot in the news around, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and everything going on. And I think it actually helps to start to understand what was going on with the previous administration.
Yeah.
So they were ruling under enforcement, meaning they were using the judicial branch. There were no rules. In the crypto industry, the good players, which are the companies that you would have recognized, like a Coinbase, you might have heard that name, they've been asking for regulation. They actually want regulation. And previous administration just, you'd get an enforcement action and there'd be a lawsuit and you'd have no idea what rules of the road you were playing for. And so the crypto industry got really behind the Trump campaign. And so all of the crypto bros, people that are in this industry, heavily voted for Trump because he was promising, we just want rules. And so last year there was a bill passed called the Genius Act, which gave some clarity around what you can do, what you can't do, so these companies can operate without fear of being sued for, just trying to figure out how to operate.
And has it worked?
So,
Has it brought some clarity, or, I guess clarity is the best word to the market?
Well, it has, and I use that word because there's actually a second bill that's about stable coins, which I think gets to Roger's question, that actually hasn't passed, and now the industry split on it because the banks are starting to get involved. But basically, that Genius Act just said, hey, here's the rules of the road. If you're going to operate here, you've got to make sure you file everything appropriately with the IRS. You've got to make sure that basically you're above board with the SEC. You're not doing securities. It just gave basic rules of how can they function, what are they allowed to do, what are they not allowed to do. And part of that was also giving some rules around stable coins. So before there was, you might have heard that around 2021, there was an issue where there was a stable coin that no longer was pegged to the dollar.
Let me stop you there. And for people like me that don't completely get all this, what is a stable coin?
Right. So a stable coin is essentially, think $1 for $1 to, the USDC is the term that they use, but it's just like a digital dollar.
Okay.
So that's a stable coin. And what the rule said is that you actually have to have a 1-for-1 reserve. And you're allowed to invest those reserves a certain percentage into treasury bills. So the largest buyers right now of treasury bills are stable coins. And the nuance of why banks don't like this is because what Coinbase and other companies have been doing is passing on that yield, that 3.5%, to people that hold stable coins. And so that obviously can hurt the fractional reserve system, where when you put, $100 in the bank, they can go lend, $90 out. They're, they can keep lending that out over and over and over because it's a fractional reserve system, right? And so that hurts banks' ability to basically keep that difference because they're also investing in these same treasury bills. And if you keep your money in the bank, you're getting less than 1% typically on an average savings or checking account. And so that's the big fight right now that's going on, is whether cryptocurrency companies, stablecoin companies, are allowed to pass that yield directly to people that hold stablecoins, or if only banks can do that. And there's all kinds of stuff going on there, but that's the crux of the issue.
All right, let me throw you a curve question, because it's an area I know a little more about than what you're describing. How does that affect the mortgage lending business in that some of that business is also tied to the T-bills and that fluctuating rate in addition to what the Fed does.
I mean, you could see if well, I mean, I don't. It's a great question. I don't know that I have the answer to that, except for the fact that if money moves away, and this is what banks are concerned about, if people start moving more to stable coins because they get more dollars and it's still backed 1-to-1, you can pull it out whenever you want. You don't have to worry about a run on the banks because that's what the Genius Act established.
Right.
Then you could see banks lose their ability to lend, which would then make it harder to go get mortgages and would affect rates. So that's the best way I could see it
Interesting.
tying to the mortgage market. Is
Wow.
you limit so that's the fight right now. And Coinbase flipped. So there's a second bill called the Clarity Act that hasn't passed, and that's what they're fighting over now.
And where's Trump on the Clarity Act? To your knowledge.
Unclear.
Okay.
Yeah, lack of clarity there on where
Is
it
it
there.
is it a partisan issue, or is it kind of split too? Because really, there are other interests other than just party levels on these things.
Yeah, so Genius Act was actually pretty bipartisan
Yeah.
because it was like, hey, let's just give rules and regulations. The Clarity is split, so it's not as it's you have some Republicans that are now no longer supporting it the way that they did because they've got bankers that are
Yeah.
part of their lobby, and so that's hurting, especially community banks. The bigger banks a lot of banks are already having their own stablecoin strategy, but basically it feels like they're trying to buy time because I don't know that they're going to be able to block this to some degree. But there's a split right now as to what's going on. But I don't know all the details of who's where, but there is a split in the Republican Party that didn't exist a year ago when they passed the Genius Act.
Well, Will, you're going to force me to go do some more homework, and you've given us some amount of clarity on that. I was a little confused as to the question, but that makes a lot of sense to me. But man, the world's changing on us so fast. I gotta see if I can get a grip on this. So, but I appreciate.
it's
Tell me
tough.
how
There's a lot.
how you got into doing what you do to have all this expertise.
Man, I just loved personal finance. Started a tech company that was focused on helping personal finance, and lived in New York City and got connected with people in the financial technology space, and ended up getting really into money and finance, and listened to way too many really terrible podcasts on banking and fintech and all that stuff. So I won't bore you with all that because you could go on for days about all this stuff.
I get it. But no, that's excellent, and I appreciate all your expertise tonight and reaching out to us. If you ever hear us fumbling around with this issue again, we will designate you our official banking tech expert. How about that?
That sounds great. And I know you were talking about that lawyer down in Key West that was a buddy that you're not sure if he's still around or down in the Keys.
Yeah.
I can report that he is alive and well, and that's my pop. So anyway.
Okay. All right.
Connect that dot.
I know exactly who you are now. That's he's a buddy of mine, and he just I'm glad he's good. I would have found him down there while I was down there. That's good to know. I know exactly. Good for you, brother. All right.
Yes, sir. So anyway, thank you, Leland.
You too, man. So apparently our sons have grown up to be more successful than their fathers. I'm just kidding. I know Will and my son used to be on the same soccer team. How about that? Instantly, I know who he is. I guess I was talking about my old friend. I was talking about how people down in the Keys will just sometimes go down there and decide, hey, I'm done. There are a lot of folks down there, and I kind of admire them. I met a guy, he had a big giant boat. Do you know the boat, when I was giving the beauty shot, AJ, from the RV, you could see this. There was a catamaran, there was another big boat next to it.
Yes.
Got to talk to that guy. And I don't know what in his life led him here, but this was what he was doing. And I just sat back and marveled. He goes, this is my retirement. I bought this boat. He registered it as a charter boat that does fishing, and it was rigged up for that. But it was one of those boats big enough to live on. And once he got through all the IRS hurdles and the write-offs and things that are associated with that, he was going to head down through the Panama Canal, go to the other side of Costa Rica, and fish till he died. His fantasy or his life, whatever. And I didn't talk to him long enough to figure out, what'd you do for a living before you retired down here? He did tell me he was 73 on his own boat. He's just going to go fish off Costa Rica, enjoy his days, and probably a pretty affordable thing to do until the drug cartels go down there and take out his boat. But I'm just saying, this guy had a plan, but he was sort of stuck at that marina for a while, sort of biding time so he could make the journey down to Costa Rica. That's the kind of folks you run into down there. It's
Man,
just
that's a pretty cool journey to
these
to
dreamers,
Yeah.
people that just get on down there and do what they just do their thing, man.
Now, did you ever find out who stayed that in that house that was right there on the coast?
No, I never did wander over there and trespass or break in or anything.
Yeah.
But I did look it up. When I go somewhere, do you do this? Because I know your wife works in this industry as well. Everywhere I go on vacation, I will pull up the real estate information and figure out what the prices are.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna buy all this stuff. Like, where's the $12 million house and where's the rental property? And I will do that just as a hobby. I used to do it when they were just real estate pamphlets, and you'd walk by a grocery store and they'd open a little box and get a free
Oh yeah.
little magazine with all the houses in it. I just want to know what things cost everywhere I go.
Yeah. Now I agree. I do the same thing too. I do that, and I listen to the local radio stations just to
Yeah,
kinda
sometimes
see.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
See what's I'm not trying to find one of these corporate McDonald's franchise radio stations. I'm trying to find something that sounds local. I'll do that
Mhm.
too, just for old school giggles.
Yeah.
But it's like you go on vacation and you get somewhere and you go, man, we should just move here. How much do the houses cost?
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. I was anytime I go play, I'm like, could I live here? And then it gets shot down quickly. Like, oh no, we can't do that.
Hell no. Let's go home. All right, y'all. Mandu. Let's talk about Mandu for a minute. MANDUU, Mandu.com. This is where you can get your booty tight and do it without having to go to a stanky gym. I saw a video today, and it reminded me of Mandu. It's kind of a long story. I'll see if I can squeeze it in here. You know, I'm always scrolling the news all day long, just gathering stuff for the show. There's this video, this rude guy in a gym. He was sitting there, and he had his camera set up to record his workout, I guess, for all his fans. You know how everybody's so, you know what I mean? These social media kids. So he was mad at the other people at the gym were just walking through, picking up weights and doing their thing because they were getting in his shot, AJ. He wanted to command a whole section of the gym for his video effort so we could watch him work out. That's gyms nowadays. That's what you're putting up with other people. Mandu is not a gym, but it is a place to get resistance training. I instantly thought about Mandu so much better than that. You go in, you get a personal trainer, you get your own dressing room, you change into their outfit, which hooks to their machines, and it stimulates your muscles as you do a very efficient, short 15-minute workout. And when you're done with that, you're done for a couple of days. It's so intense, you can't go there every day. And it's not a cheat code. It's not a shortcut. It's just technology. It's a more pleasant experience. It's a more effective experience. And in my own personal case, when I get results, I get motivated. When I'm not getting results, I sort of want to give up. Like last night, I took down a huge piece of key lime pie that we brought back. I tore it, AJ. I tore it up. I ate a piece and a half. I ate a whole piece and I went, I think I want some more because tomorrow I can't do this again. Y'all go see Mandu. Let them let you try it out for free. They'll let you try it for free the first time. Now, you have to be medically eligible. You need to know that. There are some forms they're going to ask you a bunch of questions, and you can do that online before you go so you don't waste a trip if you've got, I don't know, got some condition that won't allow you to do their training. But once you do it, I think once you feel it, even if you don't decide in the moment that you want to come back and sign up, a couple of days later, you're going to feel so good and tight, you're going to go, that worked. That was effective. And then once you get on their programs, it's the feedback they give you, the motivation they give you, the encouragement, the efficiency of it. It's so easy to be in and out of there and done for the day with your gym. Even if you don't live near Homewood, I'm telling you, for some of y'all, it's quicker to drive all the way to Homewood, go in there, do your 15-minute workout, get back in your car and go on with your life than it is to go to a gym down the street. Mandu, if what you've been doing is not working, give this a shot. MANDUU, Mandu.com, Mandu.com. All right, it's 4:53. Leland Live, Talk 99.5, Lonnie's Furniture Company. Y'all know how much I appreciate John and Reggie and that whole operation over there. Let them outfit you with furniture. They're constantly getting. I'm telling you, this is one of those places. It's not exaggeration. Everything's there. It is complete furniture shopping. It is the biggest store you'll ever walk in anywhere in the Southeast for the most part. I save the exception of maybe an IKEA, some of those big cheap stores. But this is real quality, beautiful stuff that you're going to appreciate and you're going to love year in and year out. And John is his family, that name has been around for 90, I think we're going on 92, 93 years. I've lost track. When you're in business that long, 5 generations, then Reggie comes along, partners up with John and says, let's do something special. They build the superstore in Kimberly, move the old location, and now you got this wide open place to just take your time, sit on everything, think about it. Sometimes furniture, when you buy a couch, you're going to have that for years. It's got to work in your home, and they don't mind. They know it's a long-term decision, so take your time. If you need professional advice, they've got all the expertise in the world right there to help you with design or putting it together. You can design your own furniture there. They're connected with the furniture factories where they can order things exactly like you want them. They even have like Bassett, the well-known Bassett name. They've got a whole section where you can custom design your own Bassett furniture and have it brought to you. How about that? Wonderful place. And from time to time, you're going to get deals. They're just going to get a truckload of Lazy Boys, and they just put them on sale and let you come get them. And we'll always give you the heads up on that. Go see them if you're looking for something to do here in the doldrums of February. It's off exit 280 on I-65 in Birmingham. It's Lonnie's Furniture Company.com. Actually, not in Birmingham, in Kimberly. Lonnie's Furniture Company.com. Is Steve still there? Steve's on a cell phone. What's up,
man.
buddy? How you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. It looks like they're going to go to trial down in Fairhope, the trial of the century, about the, I don't even remember what the original protest was about. I think it was about keeping the porn.
Are you talking about the lady that was dressed as the inflatable penis?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about this. What's going on with her?
I just heard a little bit of it on the Mobile radio. They were talking about it. They've set a date for next week. It's going to trial. She wants her day in court, I guess.
What was she protesting? They're always protesting something. Ukraine, ICE,
I thought you
trannies.
might remember.
I don't remember.
Hamas or
they all have. They change their bumper stickers every week. 1 minute they're all Ukrainians, and then they're all transgender.
Yeah.
Then they're all MS-13. Then they're Palestinian. Now they're anti-ICE.
Well, 3 weeks ago they were anti, Department of Education. They switched to that real quick.
Oh, that's true.
Chased them up to Satsuma. So I guess it all depends on the weather. If the weather's good, that whole group will probably be out.
But this particular lady got some kind of inflatable penis Halloween costume and got tackled by the popo down in Fairhope, and that was
It was a
a couple things working against her. There were motorists who called in and complained about her before the cops showed up.
Yep.
So there were people complaining, and she also used a false name. Did you hear what name she used?
No. What did she use? Hillary Clinton?
No. First name Ann, last name Tifa. Antifa.
Oh, her name was Ann. Her last name was Tifa. I wonder if she thought about that before did she go down thinking, I'm going to get arrested today. I'm going to be Ann.
And so she tried to use a false name, I guess. I mean, this all is for that group. I mean, they'll come out and try and go viral. They'll stand outside the courthouse, I guess.
So there's like 10 of them down there. There's like 30 of them around Birmingham that do the same thing. They got to be in on what their miserable friends
they're
around
good.
the country
This is a good team. I mean, this is a small market team.
Okay.
But if there was like an AP top 25, they'd probably be in it.
I got it.
I mean,
AJ says it was a no kings protest. Whatever that was, I still don't even know what that was.
Well, those are still going on, I think.
I thought he was. Is he a king or a Nazi? I forget what they think he is right now. They can't let go of Nazi. They'll be doing Nazi stuff tonight too, probably.
When they're trying to get the porn out of the kids section of the library, they're Nazi book burners.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And then what are they for trying to get porn into the kids' library? What are they? You know, I decided today, Steve, I was on the treadmill and I decided if they're going to keep with the Nazis, I've got a new name for them. You ready? Anybody? Class, y'all ready?
I'm ready.
AJ, get the rim shot ready. This is what we should start calling them. You ready? You ready, Steve? They should be Nutsies. The Nutsy party. Am I crazy?
I'm down with it. Hey, did you hear anything about the USS United States? Now they might have trouble sinking it.
I did see some of that. They've got it. They've had it down in Mobile, and they're supposed to tow it out there and And what, make a barrier reef out, and they're not sure they can get it.
No, they make these obviously underwater fishing reefs.
Right.
They're great for fish and redfish and everything. Alabama's actually kind of leading all the Gulf states on it. It's about time somebody down in Florida, like Okaloosa County, decided to. They're topping everybody. It's going to be like the biggest artificial reef in the world. But now they might have trouble sinking it because some environmental group is complaining about it. And I think they spent $11 million. There's probably some county commissioners down in Okaloosa, Florida, starting to sweat because I knew right when they towed it to Mobile and they said it was going to be at least a year.
That thing's
I just
massive.
knew.
That thing's massive.
I mean, a year from now, would it surprise you if it's still sitting on the Mobile River? I mean, it sat on the Delaware River, I guess, for 50-something years, and no one got around to sinking it or, selling it to some country in Central America and let them scrap it and turn it into razor blades.
This is where we really should. This is where I think the Democrats, I was giving them a hard time for running all our cities in the ground, but this is something they might be able to excel at, is sinking a ship. They
exactly.
Just tell them
put Hunter Biden in charge.
Yeah,
Hunter Biden could get that thing sunk in 3 days.
Or Kamala. I mean, I was going to make a it'll go down joke, but I won't do that.
I thought of someone who might run for president.
Who?
She'd have to switch parties.
Go.
But Nikki Haley.
Yikes.
I mean, she hasn't done anything.
I'm done with her.
Since
See you, Steve. Gotta go.